Hi, all. Welcome back to our second episode in the book of Numbers, which I'm still finding very exciting, by the way. And today I'll be sharing lessons from Numbers 3 to 4. And chapter 3 basically starts off by sort of reiterating Aaron's story about his sons and what happened to the first two sons who were killed by offering strange fire, were killed because they offered strange fire to the Lord. And we see here how God appoints all the Levites to serve as Aaron's assistants to maintain and serve, to maintain the furnishings of the tent of meeting and also serve in the tabernacle. So I thought that was very interesting, and it made me think about how God always just makes provision. Now, even though some of us might be struggling past the fact that the two sons didn't get any mercy but were struck down immediately, but I already spoke about that in the previous episode when it did happen and when we studied that chapter. But here we see God giving Aaron double or more for the two sons that he has lost. So now the entire tribe was now there to assist him. The Lord chose them to serve as substitutes for all the firstborn sons of the people of Israel. If we remember, a while back we read in some of the chapter in an earlier book. I think it was in Numbers. Sorry, we're in Numbers in the earlier part of Leviticus, when God was speaking and said that all firstborns of man and animals belong to him. And so the Levites God had brought them in to represent the firstborns of Israel. But then because not all of them could come and serve, the Levites were a representation of each firstborn of Israel. The Lord then commanded Moses to carry out a registration of all the Levites. Unlike all the other clans, the list was for every male 1 month old and older. If we remember, when the census was carried out for the other tribes, it was from all the men from 30 to 60. They were then assigned their own areas around the tabernacle for their camp. A specific area was given to the specific heads of each of the Levite clans. And specific areas and items thereof, or that's of the tabernacle, they were given responsibility for that. So the Kohathites, if I remember, were in charge of the temple, the minorites. Forgive me if I'm murdering their names. I know it was quite a tongue twister. Were in charge of carrying the load and all of that. So the God was specific about that. And then Eleazar, Aaron's son, who was now his oldest son because his two older brothers had been killed, was the chief administrator over all the Levites and was responsible for oversight of the sanctuary. The total number of Levite males 1 month and older was 22,000. And so I'd mentioned before how the Levites were standing, as representatives of the firstborn sons of Israel. And God obviously ordered a census of the Israelites, and it turns out that the Israelites' firstborns were 273 more than Levites. And so they had to be redeemed. If you remember a few chapters back, we read about God saying how there was a redemption fee for those who were meant to serve. So if you can't serve, or as a representation of your service to the temple, you owed 5 shekels measured by the temple weights. And so they had to be redeemed by silver, as the Lord had commanded, and the silver was given to Aaron and his sons. So chapter 4 details the duties of all the Levite clans. Men between 30 and 50 were eligible to serve in the tabernacle, and the Merarite clan had the highest number. No wonder they were the ones they gave to carry loads. The Kohathites had the most important job of carrying and guarding the sacred elements. They were also Aaron and Moses' clan. So of the Levites, Moses and Aaron were from the clan of Kohat. You have to forgive me here. Yeah, not my strong points, these names. And here's where I saw God in these chapters. God gave both the greatest tribe, which was Judah, and the smallest tribe, Levi, places of honor in the whole setup. It shows that he doesn't disregard minorities. He gives them a chance to serve in his kingdom. Here we see the Levites, the Levites on all their various ways of service, the Kohathites and the Merarites, sacred load carrying and sacred stuff and load carrying. And it just showed me, what came true to me is that we all have a role to play in serving God or in the service of God. Some of us, some people are big, they are huge. I think of like the Geos and the people, who are, really out there and doing like great, seemingly great and important things for God. And there are people that are just like doing things as simple as feeding the poor and sharing the gospel with them. So at the end of the day, it is all service to God. And it is all necessary. And I think that there's provision. This just shows us that there's provision for everyone. So don't think, oh, I'm too small or I'm too great. We all have a mandate to serve God in every way that we can. I hope this blesses you. I know I haven't said that in a while, but yes, every time I share something, I hope it blesses you or inspires you or motivates you to do more or want to know God more. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Bye.